Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to discuss on the representation of organic compounds, which is a very simple segment. And so let us deal with it. So if you like our video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. So there are different ways in which we can represent an organic compound, and the first way is known as the molecular formula, then structural formula, condensed structural formula, and bond line representation. So we'll take a simple example of propane and we are going to represent it in all the forms. So the first form is the molecular formula. So the molecular formula for propane is C3H8, and C3, this shows the number of carbon atoms as well as the number of hydrogen atoms, but it does not show the bonds. Okay, now in structural formula you have to represent all the bonds. In structural formula we have to represent all the bonds. That is, if you have to represent propane, then there are three carbon atoms which are single bonded. Then on each carbon atoms you have the hydrogens, right? So each and every bond has to be represented in the case of structural formula. Okay, now in the case of condensed structural formula, you do not have to represent all the bonds, but those which are necessary have to be represented. For example, for example, propane can be represented as CH3 single bond CH2 CH3, and it is understood that carbon and hydrogen makes single bond, so we do not have to represent that. So those which are necessary have to be represented. Now, in bond line representation, this is the most important one because it actually simplifies a lot of questions where you have to deal with large compounds, and it can take a lot of time to represent it in any of this form, like structural or condensed structural formula. So, in bond line representation, it actually is the simplest form where a single line represents, where the two endpoints of a single line represents two carbon atoms. So these endpoints represent a carbon atom. Okay, and in bond line representation, you do not need to represent the hydrogens, that is understood. Okay, so if you have to represent propane in the bond line formula, you can simply draw it like this, where the endpoints represent a carbon atom. So this represents a carbon atom, and this represents another carbon atom, and this represents another carbon atom. Okay, so you do not have to represent the hydrogen atom because that is understood. So this is bond line formula. Now we'll do certain examples regarding to the bond line formula. So the first example that we're going to take is simple one, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, CH3 and CH3. So in this you can see that one carbon atom is branched and all others are in the straight chain. So here there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon atom and one is branched. So we can draw the 5 carbon atoms and you can show that one of them is branched. So you can clearly see that the all of the carbon atoms have been represented. So this represents first, then second, third, fourth, fifth. This also represents a carbon atom. So this is the sixth one. Okay, so all the 6 carbon atoms have been represented. You do not have to show hydrogen atoms while writing bond line formulas. The second example that we can take is CH3, CH2, CH, double bond CH2. So here between two carbon atoms you have a double bond. So first step, just count the number of carbon atoms. You can see that there are 4 carbon atoms that represent that, and then between the last two carbon atoms you have a double bond. So the last two carbon atoms, there is a double bond, that is between this carbon atom and this carbon atom you're having a double bond, so you represent that. Okay, so this represents a double bond. Okay, and we can take a third example also. The third example, CH3, C, triple bond, C, CH, double bond, CH2. So here also we can see that there is a triple bond as well as double bond. So first step is just simply count the number of carbon atoms. So you have 5 carbon atoms here. Okay, so this represents 5 carbon atom. Now between the second and third, you have a triple bond. That is second one and third one, you have a triple bond, and between the last two, you have a double bond. Okay, so this is the bond line representation. Now the fifth example you have is CH3, CH2, COOH. So this is propanoic acid. Okay, so here to represent this in the bond line formula, okay, in COOH, you have to understand that COOH means C double bond OOH. COOH means C double bond O and there is an OH. So this is COOH. Okay. Now to represent it, it's very simple. There are 3 carbon atoms, right? And in the last carbon atom, you're having a double bond O and you're having an OH also. Okay, now the fifth and the last example that we take, the fifth example is CH3, C double bond O, O, CH2, CH3. Now, in this, there are 4 carbon atoms, but between the second and third carbon atom, there is an oxygen atom that has to be represented. So it is the end point of the line just represents carbon atom. The other all other elements should be represented separately. It's just hydrogen which we can neglect. Okay, so there are 4. So one, this is the second one, and between the second and third you're having an oxygen. So there you go. Okay, so you can clearly see that this is the first carbon atom, second carbon atom, then you have an oxygen, then the third carbon atom, and then the fourth carbon atom, and in the second carbon atom you're having a double bond O also. Okay, simple as that. Okay, now the next method of in which organic compounds can be represented is a 3D method, which is known as the wedge dash representation. So in many questions you will find the wedge dash representation, and it is very important to understand the wedge dash representation. So we'll take an example of CH4. In CH4, not all hydrogens are in a single plane. So CH4 is a tetrahedral. It has a tetrahedral geometry, and it is understood that all hydrogens will not be in a single plane. Okay, you can clearly see the structure of methane over here, where this is the pink one represents the carbon atom and the white one represents the hydrogen atom. Now there are 4 hydrogen, and we can see that one of the hydrogen atom is out of the plane, that is it's like facing towards me, and the other hydrogen atom is into the plane. So one is out of the plane and the other one is into the plane, which is facing away from the person looking at it. Okay, so to represent this in wedge dash form, we can represent it like this, where this dark one is known as the wedge, and this represents the carbon, the any atom. This represents the atom which is facing towards me. That is the one which is out of the plane. So this hydrogen atom, which I have circled with the red, is represented by the wedge because it is facing towards the person looking at it, or it is actually you can say it's out of the plane. So the one represented with a circle is shown by the wedge. Now the hydrogen atom which is away from the person looking at it, or it's into the plane, that is this hydrogen atom which I have circled with the blue, is represented by the dash. So this is known as the dash, and this represents that hydrogen atom, or this represents that atom which is into the plane or which is away from the user looking at it. So it is into the plane. So this type of representation is known as the wedge dash representation, where wedge represents the atom which is out of plane and dash represents the atom which is into the plane. Okay, so that's all for this video. If you liked the video, you please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.